This is Ruth Ann. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a part one of a perfume haul. Who doesn't like a good perfume haul, right? And these are purchases that I've made in the last couple of months. Excuse me. And so I'm just going to get started. My first fragrance is Katy Perry's Indievisible. And here is the box. So I had purchased my first Katy Perry fragrance, which was Indi, and I liked it so much. I was so surprised at how good it was that I decided to get the flanker, Indievisible. And this was released in 2018 and is considered a floral fragrance. I would say this is primarily sweet vanilla with a bit of coconut and rum. It smells a bit like Malibu rum. Now, I'm not a big drinker, but Malibu was really popular when I was in college in the late 80s. And this reminds me a bit of, back then everyone would always mix Malibu rum with orange juice, and I found that revolting. But Malibu rum mixed with coconut in more of a, I would say this smells more like a pina colada than it does anything else because of the coconut. But the coconut's really plays second fiddle to vanilla, in my opinion. This has got a bit of gardenia, musk, sandalwood, and patchouli. Those are all kind of blended in. I don't pick those notes out. What I get primarily is, like I said, there's a vanilla with a bit of pink pepper at the opening of the spray. You get kind of a fruitiness, and then as it dries down, you get more of a floral, smooth floral gardenia with coconut. And that rum, so it's a coconutty rum. All right, so I hope I described that okay. I don't think it lasts super long. No more than 4 hours, probably more like 2. And it doesn't have a really great projection either. So it's more of a close to the skin kind of a fragrance. But I think that's pretty typical for most things with a lot of coconut and boozy notes. Especially considering the price, this is generally under $20. And it's a celebrity fragrance, so you have to adjust your expectations there. But it's really very pretty, and I'm impressed with it. It's very nice. Next up, I have Avon, and this is called Haiku. Isn't that bottle gorgeous? So this is a Christmas version of Avon's Haiku. And, you know, I'm just a sucker for a pretty bottle. I bought this on eBay because I wanted to buy a backup. I'm almost done with my first bottle. Haiku was released in 2000. It's considered a floral green fragrance. I'm not going to give you all the notes, but the top notes include dewdrop, yuzu, pear, and freesia. So it gives you an idea. This is kind of a fresh fragrance. Primarily where I get is the mid note is lily of the valley, and then there are other floral notes in the mid, and the base musk, vetiver, tonka, vanilla. Primarily what I get here is this freshness in the opening, and then as it's drying down you get lily of the valley, white musk, and vetiver. And it's not a masculine vetiver, it's a very transparent, light, fresh vetiver. If you like Elizabeth Arden's green tea, in my opinion, this is better. This is a better version of that kind of fragrance, that easy breezy, fresh spring with a little bit of greenness kind of a fragrance. In my opinion, this is head and shoulders above green tea. I'm not a fan of that fragrance. It's too weak, it's too fleeting, it's too short-lived. I'm not sure why that's so popular. Haiku is better. And I think what's happening is in perfumery, most anything that's old, quote unquote old, like 2000 is old. I know that's 23 years ago. To me, that seems like yesterday because I am old. But anyway, it seems like everyone just discounts everything that's old, and I think that's really sad because 2000 really wasn't that long ago, and this is really a beautiful fragrance in a beautiful bottle. So again, Avon Haiku. Next up, I have, now this one, I could not find a Fragrantica page on. Look at that bottle. Isn't that unique? All right, so this is by Cody, and this is a flanker of their Exclamation. So this is supposed to be like an exclamation mark, and it's called Exclamation Wild Musk. And here's the box. Exclamation Wild Musk. So back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, Coty had a fragrance called Wild Musk. It was one of their best sellers, and that was in the 70s, and that was my signature scent in the early 80s. It's a very earthy, very sexy, very animalic musk, what you would call a dirty musk without being skanky, okay? And what they've done is they've come out with this exclamation flanker that is supposed to incorporate that original wild musk. And if you notice here, wild musk, that's a lot like how it was on the original bottle. So when I saw this on eBay, I was just searching generic musk fragrances, and this came up, and I could not buy it fast enough. And it does definitely, so it does resemble the original wild musk, but it's not the same. So I pick up that animalic, earthy wild musk, but it's got this really strong ambery, almost butterscotchy, slightly sweet, mixed with peaches and florals with the original exclamation. This is very nice. It's very pretty. It's not as long lasting as I would like. It's maybe 4 hours. It's really pretty. If it lasted longer, this I would say could be signature scent worthy if you like musk. Very pretty, very unique. I recommend you give it a try. It's not very expensive if you like musk and amber. Next up, I have, this is a repurchase for me. This is called Klein 2. And here's the bottle. So Klein 2 is a 1985 release from Klein. It's a powdery amber fragrance. It's also warm and spicy. It's very much 80s. If you like Obsession, if you like YSL Opium, if you like Must de Cartier by Cartier, which I covered in one of my empties, this is just a very comforting, warm, spicy winter scent. This is fragrance goes great with a cashmere or a wool sweater. It's definitely a wool blazer kind of a fragrance. I've also seen on Fragrantica people describe this fragrance as a furs and pearls kind of a fragrance, and I really like that description. It's very classy, very beautiful, very long lasting. I wouldn't say it's not up in the 12 plus hours, but it's definitely in the 6 to 8 hour range, which for nowadays I would consider to be a very good performance. I have no idea if this has been discontinued. It was definitely more expensive, this one, than my first bottle, which I had bought in a gift set at Kohl's. This one I bought by itself on eBay, and it was more in the $25 to $30 range. Top notes here that I can pick up is peach. As it dries down, you get more of an orris root mixed with florals, but primarily this is amber, benzoin, musk, patchouli, and those things all kind of come together to give a real incense vibe. If you like incensey, warm, spicy fragrances, highly recommend this. Very, very beautiful. Next up, I have something a little different. This is by Lattafa, and this is called Mohra. Mohra, if you can read that on the label. It has a very nice presentation. Here's the box. So this is supposed to be a dupe for Penhaligon's Helvetica Cedar. I have no idea what that smells like, but it's a very expensive fragrance. Evidently it's popular enough to be duped. This lasts a good 4 to 6 hours. This is definitely a C Chronicles made me buy it. C Chronicles is a perfume channel that I really enjoy. She covered this and really raved about it, and it's well deserved. This is a very unique fragrance. In the top notes we have saffron, blood orange, lavender, and bergamot. In the mid the note that I get primarily is black pepper, rose, and carnation. It also has cashmere in. Base notes include patchouli, cedarwood, sandalwood, musk, and labdanum. That gives it a lot of depth and complexity. This I would describe as deep, dark prunes. Now, Sea Chronicles describe this as a dark cherry. I describe it more like prunes. Prunes soaked in rum or a spiced rum is how I would describe this. If you've ever had mulled wine, it's like a dark, pruny version of that. It's also been likened to Black Orchid by Tom Ford. So I would say if you like Black Orchid, you would likely like this. But you have to like Dark Horse kind of deep, mysterious type of fragrances. This is like evening out, black cashmere sweater, black wool blazer kind of a fragrance. Definitely for winter, definitely for evening. Really unique, very unique. And speaking of Black Orchid, my next and last in this haul is a straight up dupe of Black Orchid, and this one is called Oud 24 Hours. Beautiful bottle. Here is the box. This is by Ard Al Zaafaran. I'll give you a look at that here. Ard Al Zaafaran. Alright, so this also in the box came with a body spray. And this one is just called a cologne spray. And these smell exactly the same. The straight up dupe of Tom Ford's Black Orchid. I had just recently used up a body oil, one of those rollerball oil of Tom Ford, and I enjoyed it so much that I decided to step up. Like, there's no way I'm going to spend the money on Tom Ford. Like, if you know me in this channel, I will not spend that kind of money on fragrance, but I'm all about a good dupe. And from what my research tells me, this is a spot-on dupe. In fact, if you look at the Fragrantica page, a lot of people, I would say almost the majority, are saying they prefer Oud 24 Hours to Black Orchid. It's supposed to be smoother than Black Orchid. This lasts max 2 sprays, 8 to 10 hours. So I'm going to go over the notes briefly, not all of them, but the ones that stand out. In the top, dark chocolate, which I definitely get, mandarin orange and bergamot. In the mid, dark fruits, spicy notes, and then a mixture of dark florals. In the base, we have patchouli, sandalwood, oud, incense, and amber. Gives you a really good idea of what this smells like. It's really dark, beautiful, mysterious. It is everything that everyone says Black Orchid is, and it's kind of a love it or hate it kind of a fragrance. I would only wear this in cool weather. I also really enjoy the perfume oil dupes of this. It's peppery, spicy, mysterious. Like I said, you have to like that kind of fragrance to like it. But this is really beautiful and long-lasting and worth every penny. So that's it for this haul video. I do have another one I'm going to be filming after this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.